Welcome back, folks, to another episode of the College Baseball Show live here Saturday mornings here. I'm your host, Mark Garland. I'm joined by the wonderful Hayden Schott, former Texas A&M player. He's going to be calling the game today, I believe, at the Texas A&M radio. How are we doing this morning, man?
Man, it's good to be here. I owe you and Will an apology for my disgusting discussions on Twitter last night. You got to forgive me. That's how now ever since going here, it's how I treat people who are against it. But no,
I'm
I'm
all
happy to
for
be
it.
here, man.
Listen, I love the fandom. I love people being involved in this game.
Yeah.
That's why I do this. I mean, I'm all for it, man. I love the arguments. I want to be a part of
Oh
it, and
yeah.
I think that's a huge thing for college baseball. The game continues to grow, and it's fantastic. I'm so excited
Yeah.
that we get to have a couple games today. I mean, we get so many games because of Rainhouse today. It's fantastic.
Correct.
One thing I wanted to shout out before we get started, Olivia Picardo becomes the first female to pitch in D1 baseball. She comes in relief for Brown University, comes in and gets an out and closes out that game. Very, very cool for her and for Brown University. But let's dive right into Vanderbilt and Alabama, man. What a weird way to start off the weekend here.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt takes the lead early in the first game, and then they get shut out last night. Like, Zane Adams was unbelievable last night, electric in game two. But Hines and Lim have hit home runs in both games. This is trouble for Vanderbilt, right? Like, they're in a bad place now where they don't have a lot of RPI building to end out their season.
Correct. I feel like this is the point in the season where if you're up there in RPI or down there, like you're most likely going to stay around there because you've kind of solidified some sort of resume, and it's really hard to break that down now. But like to your point, it's like if you're Vandy, you don't have many opportunities to kind of make that jump. At some point, you got to. I know that if as a coach, you're probably not telling your team to worry and press, but at some point, man, like yeah, I know if I'm on that team, like I've been on that side of the losing, and you definitely press, and and if you're like a player and you watch and you're on Twitter and you understand how this whole thing pans out and how the playoffs work and how the committee goes about everything, like you're smart enough to understand what it means and what it takes. And so it's a long answer to your question, but the answer is yes. They're running out of opportunities, and I feel bad because like as a little kid I loved Tim Corbin. I just thought he was the coolest thing ever. So I feel bad for him.
Yeah, it's really tough because even though with the two losses they've gone up 5 places in the RPI, which is wild to think about, but 2 losses on the road at Alabama hasn't killed them. If they get a win today, it doesn't put them in dire straits, but at the same time, they have South Carolina, Mizzou left. Like, those are not RPI builders. Even winning those games is not going to
They're
build
not
them
going to
up
help
enough.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't seen a team in the 60s make it as an at-large. I mean, even with 15 or 16 SEC wins, it might be really tough for this Vanderbilt team. But I said that they needed to take at least one this weekend, so they need to take at least today's game. But I think it's a really tough sledding now for Vanderbilt the rest of the way just because the RPI is just not going to be there for that at-large bid.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Speaking of at-large bids, Louisville and Wake Forest, man, unbelievable. Back-to-back walk-offs for Wake Forest, huge for them. I mean, that basically puts them as bubble in the tournament, and it almost ruins Louisville's chances of getting in now. It puts them on the outside looking in. They had 2 chances. They were up in both of those games there. As a Wake Forest person, like, you're looking at this going, as Wake Forest fans waking up going, hey, we did exactly what we need to do. 2 walk-off wins. What are your feelings here for this Wake Forest team? I mean, they usually are built on pitching and defense. They did a little bit of that, but mostly it was just clutch performances there late in those games.
Yeah, I think the most important factor with Wake Forest baseball is simply their social media team. That's all it comes down to. They have probably the greatest videos and photos I've ever seen in my entire life. And we got a great team when I was at A&M, but that Wake Forest team, so yes, we could pitching, defense, offense, but it comes down to publicity. And you know what? Wake Forest does it right. And I'm convinced it has an effect. Those players want to play good, so they're on those videos. So I'm going to go an alternate angle here and actually deflect your question and answer it. I'm going to pick option C here, Mark. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. Listen, for them, it's big. Wake Forest gets the wins. That's what they needed to do this weekend.
Correct.
Louisville had to get these 2 wins to kind of get their season back. They needed to win the series, whether it was winning 2 or 3, however they had to do it. So dropping these first 2 is just brutal blow for Louisville, basically ending their season. They're going to have to do something special in the ACC tournament, which they don't have the pitching to do it. I mean, I've been watching this team all year long. We had them ranked early. The pitching's not there for Louisville this year. And Tank Davis, man, it's sad to see him go after just a tremendous season. Like, he's not going to get to play postseason ball, and the guy's just a freak and leading the country.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
It's
a shame.
I mean, with that much offense on that team, Zion Rose and everything, like they don't have the pitching to get there. Utah and BYU have also played too. They've split. BYU needs one. They need to get today's game if they want to have any chance of being bubble in right now, because you're looking at the Tony Hopes. They're just one game over 500. Their RPI is not great enough. Yes, they have a winning record currently in Big 12 play, but I think that they need more victories. I don't think that they're going to get in on the Big 12 resume alone. So I think that they need to go out and win this one. Big game here for BYU as the in-state rivalry goes today in the Holy War.
You seen Mark? You seen their field over there at BYU? You seen the backdrop
Both of
they got?
Ballparks are awesome.
Yes,
listen,
correct.
It's fantastic. Yeah. Both those ballparks are gorgeous. I believe that I'm gonna make a dual visit next year. I'm excited for those to go down there and visit both ballparks. Yeah. Utah got a brand new ballpark.
Oh, cool.
It's fantastic. But BYU is the only field in the country that has heated turf. So when they do get snow, they turn on the heated turf and it melts all the snow away, and they can play baseball, which is absolutely insane.
That's
but they're playing
cool.
right there in the mountains. It's really cool. It's a great ballpark. It's also the highest ballpark in America for college baseball. The highest D1 ballpark.
We're talking elevation here, right? Not drugs?
Yes, sir. Well,
okay.
I don't think
just
drugs.
Sure.
But that might be somewhere here in Oregon. I don't know.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's a good point.
Oregon, California, one of these schools on the West Coast might be the highest. But
fair enough.
Yes, elevation-wise, they are the highest there. Let's talk about Mississippi State and Texas. What a game. Dylan Fuentes is a Friday night ace if there ever was one in the SEC. What a dude. Comes out there. Flinkus was great too. Like, he didn't even have a bad start for Mississippi State. They are going to be getting Evan McPherson back at some point this season. Sounds like the next couple of weeks we might see him getting some minutes. But huge here for Texas to go out and get that first one. Only 3 total extra base hits on the day. Frey hits a home run in the 8th, but Burns and Cozart shut that down. Big win for Friday. Wow. I mean, huge win for Texas, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect there'd be more than 1,000 people at that game. I mean, that was a big series, and it's
blown out that there's not people there. It was sad.
It's just, it's sad because to your point, it's like Fuentes. I saw someone on Twitter this morning. They're like, "This is like primetime Barry Zito," and I'm like, "That's not that crazy of a comp." Like, this guy's, when I faced him last year, I mean, it was just like invisibles, and it's outrageous. And to watch him now as a starter, where it's not just like 1 or 2 innings, kind of stopper of the year type thing. It's like he's somehow sustaining this for 6 innings. Like, it's crazy to watch, man. It feels like I'm watching a big leaguer. So he's a stud. I wish more people were there to watch it. But yeah, great ball game in general. I feel like both fans, win or lose, that was just probably a fun game to be at. So I'm bummed more people weren't there.
Yeah, I'm shocked more people weren't at the Dish because they've done pretty well this year. And just, people not showing up is wild to me. I mean, this is a top 5 matchup, really. When you're looking at 2 Omaha favorites, and 2 ace pitchers going for you. I mean, yeah. Fuentes he's every bit of an MLB pitcher. I mean, he's the dude.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to see where he goes. I mean, the guy has just shown up for this year, and I'm very excited for Dylan Fuentes. But again, Flinkus, great start also. So good pitchers duel. We'll get more of that today. Very excited for more of this series here. Arizona State travels down to UCF. Huge win for Arizona State on the road. The Knights struck early with Skinner and Crespo hitting home runs in the first. But then Arizona State bounces back all the way. Nua Contreras, 4 hits on the day. Carlin, not sharp, but good enough for Arizona State. Big win on the road for Arizona State. UCF seems to be trending the wrong direction here, Hayden. As we look at the end of the season now, they've really struggled. Their last 10 games, 3-7. Their last 10, they're in a bad spot here in Big 12.
Yeah, it's also, to our point earlier, it's like, I feel like teams make a push in a positive or negative direction at this point in the year. And it's usually because like every positive has an equal negative. And I feel like you see a lot, we always highlight like the really crazy pushes, the 12-2 runs at the end of the year. But unfortunately, someone's usually on the backside of that. It seems like UCF unfortunately might be the latter. But yeah, I mean, you run out of time, I feel like, with baseball. Like once you have one of those bad streaks at the wrong time, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, when you look at it, I mean, you're going, hey, They've played some really tough teams, Cincinnati, West Virginia, Kansas. Like, all of a sudden you're going, hey, this is tougher, man. This is a tough going. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard for UCF right here, but they got to figure out a way to win one at least this weekend. I'm excited to see what they do. I hopefully am going to see more of these games, but Arizona State, tremendous effort here. I think Jared's going to be joining us. What's up, Jared?
What's going on? Sorry, I'm late. Chaos.
It's about time, Jared. Come on now.
He's got the kiddos, man, the babies.
They're
needy at this age.
I knew Hayden.
Why don't have them?
I was like, I don't want to be late. I'm going to show up fashionably late. So
that's pretty badass move, Jared. It actually makes you look really pimp. I'm pretty impressed.
We just talked about Arizona State. Jared, anything you want to add in on Arizona State? A big win last night for them on the road at UCF. Like we talked about how hard it is to travel across the country and win those games. They go down and do it. Nua Contreras, I mean, That's what we've been asking all season. Somebody else other than Barry Harrison show up and go hit a home run, and he does it.
Yeah, I mean, it was been the Landon Harrison, Cole Carlin show, but like when everybody else shows up, that team's kind of unstoppable. So really love that offense. I think the pitching staff is kind of needs to find its stride, but offensively, Arizona State is one of the best in the Big 12.
Yeah, big win there for them. Big weekend for the rest of this weekend, though. Going to keep an eye on that one, seeing what happens there, because this is big news for Big 12. Seeing if anybody can contend with Kansas right now, who's way out in front there. Florida at Oklahoma. Aiden King, man. What an outing for him. Terrific. He gives up 1, going 7 innings, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. The bullpen betrays him, man. Unbelievable effort there from Oklahoma in the 8th. I am just shocked when I take a look at this and go, okay, they had a 3-1 lead. They turn it over to the bullpen. The bullpen's been really good. Wittenauer's been really good out of the bullpen for them. And then all of a sudden it's just turned around. Willits hits that 2 RBI triple, and then Harris hits that single to middle. Hayden, this is a tough loss at a tough time for Florida. I mean, Florida, Oklahoma are both battling for maybe those last few seeds to be hosting.
Yeah, and you felt like there for a little bit. I feel like the past month and a half or so, it's like Florida's turned it around completely. Like they're going to do what they usually do, which is just like somehow find their way in Omaha every single year. Like it just kind of felt like another one of those years. But to your point, it's like when you have Aiden King on the mound, like those are the games that those are basically must wins for them because he's such a stud. And for him to give you 1-run ball for however many innings it is, it's like if you're the other team, I know as a hitter facing a really good starting pitcher, it's like, thank God, like he's out. Like that's the greatest thing in the world. Like when he's out of the game, like I don't care who's in the bullpen. It's just like, I want the next guy. Like when it was Hagen Smith, it was like, I want the next guy. I don't care if he's statistically better. I don't care. So I'm sure that played a little bit, and credit to Oklahoma. It's like they found a way to pounce when they had a chance because they didn't probably have many chances with 8 games. So
yeah, I mean, unbelievable effort there. 4 hits only, and then he comes in the bullpen.
Crazy.
Listen, Oklahoma's a battler. Skip Johnson has always done this. He's always found ways to win, and he's done it again. This team continues to find ways to win. Every week I say, hey, I'm not impressed by Oklahoma. I'm not impressed. I'm impressed now in the fact of they keep winning. Like at some point I have to turn around and say, maybe they're not what the scores are. Maybe they are just actually just a competitive team that goes out there and finds ways to win, because that's what they have been. It's not the fact that they win these barely games and they don't beat people that are better than them. They just did at home. They beat Florida, and I think Florida's better than them. Big win for them. I think that's huge there. Jared, any thoughts there on that Florida? I mean, that's to lose an Aiden King start for them is tough. Then the run production is just not there right now for Florida.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of talked about the Oklahoma team. The questions have always kind of been on the offensive side of the ball for them. And they showed up when they needed to. Like, yeah, Aiden King shut them down, but they came and produced when they needed the runs. And so it was interesting to kind of see what they did with the rotation, right? Caden Leon started that game where LJ Mercurius came out of the bullpen for 4 innings and absolutely dominated. And Mercurius has been great all year long. But they kind of switched things up a little bit, and it worked out into their favor. They gave up 1 earned run the entire game. So, like, you have to be happy with that if you're Skip Johnson to see your kind of pitching staff step up like that, and the offense come in and have that timely hitting that you needed.
Yeah, Skip Johnson, pitching coach. I mean, he knows what he's going to get from his guys. He's kind of found it every single year. He figures out a way. Hey, I didn't think you'd see Mercurius coming out of the bullpen. All of a sudden it works. It's great. I mean, just tremendous effort there from these guys to go get that win at home. They needed this one. If they get another one this weekend, Oklahoma all of a sudden is like looking, hey, maybe we're in that 15-16 host conversation, and Florida might be finding their way as a 2 seed, which would be just wild the way that they've played the last month. Xavier goes down and beats Georgia Tech 8-4 in extras. Big win for Xavier. Not really necessarily a knock on Georgia Tech. I think that they're probably looking ahead to their last 2 ACC weeks. And with this being dead week in the ACC, it's kind of a weird one for them. But a big win for Xavier on the road. Now they need to start doing that in some Big East games to kind of get back into that thing. But big win for Xavier at Georgia Tech. I want to talk about Jacksonville State at Missouri State. This is a big one for Conference USA. Jacksonville State goes down to Missouri State 10-2. Missouri State wins this one, an 8-run third inning. 2 3-run bombs there from Golert and Cimernelli. Huge, Jared. This can't be understated. This was a must-win game for Missouri State at this point after getting swept last weekend.
Yeah, I think Missouri State's going to be quite happy they're at home, right? Because they're 18-1 at home.
They're so good at home.
That's part of the reason why I picked them over Jack State, was just because I was like, this team is like almost unstoppable in their home ballpark. And they absolutely mashed too. And so I wasn't sure what the Jack State pitching staff was going to bring to the table, but I mean, they absolutely dominated in this one. Like you said, this is a must-win series for them because like they've been kind of on the bubble in some sense. And like they'd have to really win the Conference USA championship to really get a bid. But I mean, they come away with a sweep here, or they come away with a series win against Jack State. Next thing you know, they're maybe not a bubble team anymore, and they're actually getting into that field of 64.
I feel that there's 3 teams in. I do. I feel like it's Missouri State. I feel like it's Jack State, and I feel that Liberty gets in. Hayden, are you in that same thought where you think that maybe 3 teams from Conference USA deserve to be in this thing?
Well, Mike, sure. Considering I don't really know much about Conference USA, but I will say this: I have no clue. I picked Jacksonville State for one reason and one reason only, is because I was texting Jackson Appel at the time when Jared sent me the list. So unfortunately, I had zero great analysis. Like Jared over here, freaking being an absolute demon with his mind. Unfortunately, I'm not that smart, so I just had to use my unconscious intuition at the time. But listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know it's a lot about Conference USA, but what I will say is I love at-large bids for like mid-major conferences. I think that's like one of the reasons that the playoff situation with college baseball is probably one of the greatest in college sports, just because it allows so many different teams that show up throughout the entire season to find a way in. I think the playoff bracket is absolutely beautiful, and so biasly, I would want to see 3 teams. Sure, that'd be freaking awesome.
I think we see 3 teams. I think we see 3 30-win teams get in from that conference. I know that we had issues last year with the 40-win team not getting in from the Southland, but I think that this year's a little different. I think that the bubble is much softer, and we'll talk about that over the next couple of weeks. Very excited for that.
Mark,
a team that hasn't gotten soft. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, did we get to the A&M series yet? Or
no, we can talk about that.
Before Hayden jumps off. I know you got to jump off here soon.
It did get postponed. So I think, do we get 2 today? I believe we get 2 games today. We
get
a doubleheader today. Huge here. I'm excited for this one. I took Auburn. I know that we got a lot of that back and forth Hayden online there about.
I already apologized on Twitter, Jared. Don't worry. I told Mark I felt bad, and
you don't have to apologize.
I picked. You don't have to apologize at all. I picked A&M to win the conference this year when it was very against, and I was like, hey, this is a very good baseball team if they get enough pitching. My thought this weekend is that the 4 pitchers that Auburn's trotting out there in basically a 2 game.
They're so good.
You're talking about 2 days.
Yeah,
it's brutal. It's brutal. And what Texas A&M's been doing offensively. Listen, Jordan Wilson could go off still, and the rest of that lineup could go off. I mean, Sorrell is the SEC Player of the Year to me. I still like Auburn today. But what are your thoughts on this one, Hayden?
I think you're right. I think the reality, to be completely frank, I'm a little nervous. They're actually staying in my hotel that I'm at right now. So I've been talking to a few of them. Some of them transferred from A&M, and so I know a good amount of them. And I think a good pitching staff versus a good hitting lineup, I'll always take the good pitching staff. I guess I just trust pitching more. I think it's a little more controllable, I think, when you're really good at both. So that part scares me, but at the same time, you got a home weekend at A&M. They've been gone for 2 weeks. The fans are freaking dying to watch A&M baseball. And I think there's been a few series in my time where I've really seen home field advantage actually matter. And one of the biggest ones was 3 weeks ago with Texas here. Texas is an incredible team, and they looked god awful, literally terrible watching the game. And they're an incredible team. So you got to assume that the outside factor would be the home field. So I think that plays more to an effect than I think people realize, especially here. The bummer is that we're doing a doubleheader, and the freaking Savannah Bananas are playing during the second game, which sucks because there's not going to be many people at the second baseball game. But you know what? Either way, they're going to find a way to at least scrape 2. This team's gritty, and they somehow continue to find a way with that pitching staff just to get better and better every single weekend. When you watch in the beginning of the season, it looked like a really shaky kind of, hey, we don't know who our guy's going to be. We don't know who the guy is in the 7th inning. It's all right, game over. And now you're kind of finding those roles as the season goes on, which usually happens. So I'm just feeling more confident by the weekend with this team and with Mike and everyone around him. I know I'm biased, but that's about as unbiased analysis as I could possibly give.
I was going to mention your point too on the Texas series. You could argue that Texas has almost as good of if not better pitching staff than Auburn.
Correct.
In some sense, right?
At least on the front line. Front line, it's right there.
Absolutely dominated in that series. And like you said, the home field advantage, I think, is going to play a huge factor. And maybe the crowd's not going to be as intense because it's not the rivalry game, but still, A&M draws every single time, and it's an absolute electric factory there. And this is a huge series. I have to imagine the fans are just going to be as riled up.
Yeah, you would hope, man. I hope they're drinking. I hope they're spending the doubleheader drinking a lot of booze. That usually makes it more fun for the players. So I don't know. We'll see.
How many gallons of bubbles are we going to go through today? I guess that's the big question, is what are we going to get to? I'm excited for this one, man. I think that it's going to be a really exciting atmosphere between. I'm going to be tuning in the whole day for these, so I'm very pumped for these. Go out and watch college baseball, folks. Listen, If you got
Hell
bananas
yeah.
tickets to somebody else, stay at the baseball game.
Yeah, I agree. You want to watch a banana game? There's another time to do it. This is
There's
come on.
another
This is
time. Go travel.
this is an
somewhere
Omaha
else.
level series, man. I mean, I truly believe it. Like, I think this is
Yeah.
as good as the Mississippi State Texas. Obviously, rankings are different, but I'm talking as pivotal as the series could be for both these teams. This is just as good. I mean, A&M's 7, but you lose this series, you kind of start that, like we were talking about earlier, Mark. It's like you kind of start that fall down a little bit, and it gets like that's a slippery slope that happens really, really quick at the end of SEC play. So I think this is huge. If there's any people debating bananas or baseball, I promise this baseball game will be better. Should be really good.
Yes, 100%. Go check out the Auburn versus A&M game. Hey, thanks for coming in. We know you got a jet. Appreciate you coming on the show this morning and chatting some ball with you. We'll have you back again soon.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk more baseball, man. Go enjoy the day.
I would love it. I'll be on radio, so you can. I'll give my thoughts and I'll shout you guys out. Maybe we can talk virtually through there. So you guys are awesome, man. Fun to be on.
Love it. Thanks, man.
All right, guys. See y'all.
That was Hayden Schott coming on and talking baseball with us this morning. He's got to go call the games now since we have the doubleheader. Man, full of energy. I love it, man.
Yeah.
That atmosphere is going to be electric today. I am very, very excited for that Auburn series at A&M. And like I said, this is truly an Omaha preview. Like, this could be two teams that we're seeing on the first night in Omaha. Very, very excited, man.
We talked about I'm sorry, I don't want to keep belaboring the point, but we talked about pitching staffs and like how that carried LSU to the national championship. Like Auburn right there, like they have a good enough I think their offense is better than LSU's offense was last year.
100%. Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to carry you to a potential championship in Omaha.
Yeah, and Butch Thompson knows how to get there. It's not like he hasn't been there before. It's like every other year he gets to Omaha. Well, this is that every other year. They didn't get there last year, even hosting a super. I think that this is the year for them. I'm excited to go down there and get to see some of this ball. Boston College, man. I keep shouting them out. I keep screaming bird ball from the mountains. I think people are finally starting to hear it, Jared. They go down and they beat Clemson at Clemson 8-4. When Clemson's back is against the wall, like they have to win some of these baseball games to have any chance of getting back into the tournament. And Boston College goes in there and beats them in their place. AJ Calaruso, Friday night ace. Like, he's the Friday night ace of this team. He shows up every single time with this team and says, hey, we can put them out there. 17 wins now. I believe that they deserve to be a host. Wang gets his 39th career home run in the first inning here for Boston College. Unbelievable. I love it. They have bird ball. They do little things. They do a bunt in the ninth inning to score a run. They do little sacrifice hits. Like, they hit home runs. They have doubles. I'm all on this bird ball train. I can't wait for Boston College. I hope that they host. Jared, what are your thoughts here? Is that their last series is Georgia Tech?
I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do against Tech, right? Like, they're 17-8 in conference. At what point do we say like
wins?
This is not a top 15 team, right? Like, you've won 17 games in the ACC. Like, you have what they've done throughout the course of this season has been just incredible. And like, I think Todd Interdonato needs to get a ton of credit of what he's done with this program, right? When Gambino left for Penn State, we kind of worried about like what BC might be, but he's kept this program absolutely dominating. They got a ranked series win against Miami. Miami was ranked at the time. They lost one to NC State, but they then go and dominate Cal. Then they go and dominate Virginia. Like, we have Virginia as a top 10 team, and they absolutely went and dominated them. They took one game from North Carolina, but you could argue they should have won 2 out of that one. They lost the second one. Yeah, they lost the second one 8-7. So, again, they get a series win against Virginia Tech. They get a series win against Duke. I just really, really, really like this Boston College team. And again, we've talked about it. The stats don't pop off the board on you. Like, they're hitting 287 as a team, but they got a Friday night ace and AJ Calaruso. Like, this is, I think this is going to be a top 15 by the end of the season. Again, it will depend on, I think, what they do against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and the nice thing is that Georgia Tech series, like, okay, that's going to build their RPI. So they're at 24 on the RPI now. If they win another game on the road here at Clemson, for me, they're in. They're a host team. Like, they might be 14, 15, or 16, but they're a host team. Like, you win 18 games in the ACC, even if they swept and got to 19, I just don't understand why people are like, hey, this team doesn't. You win that many games in the ACC, you deserve to host. I mean, you're beating the teams that are in front of you. You beat teams. UNC is a top 3 team in the country right now. And we're talking about they beat them a game and should have taken 2 from them. I really am big on this one. I think that I think Boston College deserves to host. I love what they're doing. But 17 wins. Again, if they get one more win this weekend, pencil them in. They deserve to host no matter what they do in that last series against Georgia Tech. But, you know, what happens if they go beat Georgia Tech or they take the weekend or they beat them one game? 19, 20 wins is not out of the possibility for this Boston College team right now, which is insane for what they're doing. I'm excited for it, man.
Canes got says
they deserve to host. They came to Miami and beat us. They're great on the road. They are great on the road. They are a very good road team, which would make them even more dangerous if they do get a host in the first round. Say they're in that 11-16, and then they have to go on a super regional and play somebody. Man, if they beat Georgia Tech, they are a national host. They should be a top 8 seed. But that's my opinion. I know that there's going to be lots of voting and lots of things saying that their non-conference wasn't good enough. I'm still all on this bird ball team. Let's talk about Miami. While we got you here, Canes Cats Heat. I mean, let's talk about it. Win the first game there. Huge as Alex Sosa comes up and comes back into Raleigh, hits that home run there. Miami wins that first game 12-9. They dropped the second one 6-13, which happened to be the 1100th win for Coach Elliot Avent on his 70th birthday. Happy birthday, Coach, and huge 1,100 wins. NC State needed this win. Miami could use the win of the series, especially on the road here. I'm very excited to see what today brings. I mean, there's lots of firepower today in today's game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, we kind of talked with Jason in the group chat talking about we're going to figure out what one of these two teams are. I feel like after two games, we still don't know who either one of these teams are. But yeah. I'm a bigger believer, I think, in Miami than I am in NC State at this point. Like Miami's got the higher RPI. They've just looked better on paper and I think on the field. So I would think to me, Miami's a top 25 team. They're right at the bottom of half of this top 25. I think they just missed ours. We're like 26 or 27.
Yeah,
and
I
have questions about some of the kind of depth of Miami, but I really, really like this Hurricanes team, and I think they're going to make some noise.
Yeah, my biggest, I guess if you have to take a concern, was nice to see Rob Evans back and being able to throw yesterday. Yes, it wasn't perfect, but it was good to see him back. That means bigger for them for the season. Lots of arms now are coming back healthy, which is huge. So now they have the bullpen help that they needed. They have that. Daniel Cuvée, we don't know. We don't know how long he's going to be out. Like that could be a big deciding factor for this team. But the fact of the matter is they're 13-10 in conference. And they're 33-13 overall. They're verge of hosting also. Like they're on that verge of being a top 16 if they can figure out something here in the last few weeks of the season. I like where they're at. They still have some tough series ahead of them, but if they can end up taking this one, it's big for them. Whereas NC State is a losing record right now. They need a win. They need a win to get back to 500 in ACC play. And they're 29-17 overall. They've got 12 losses in conference. So we've already seen that the committee does not favor these teams that have a losing record in conference. They just won't take them into the bid. Like they just won't give them that bid. So it's big, especially with their RPI. Our NC State's RPI is not as good as Miami's is. So I'm very excited to see this one. I hope that we get to see a healthy Miami team the rest of the stretch, because I think it's going to be a big deal for Miami. Let's talk about Kansas State at West Virginia. This was like do or die time for Kansas State. We kept talking, hey, they got to get these wins. They got to get these wins. West Virginia blanks them. Max Yell returns, and I think that might be the biggest sentence for West Virginia this season. And he comes out and absolutely dominates. Yell and Korn combined for the shutout for West Virginia. They don't do it flashy. There wasn't any big hits. They just got these little dink and dunks, but they won the game there. Massive for West Virginia. Tough loss for Kansas State as it almost puts them on the bubble out of being in the tournament.
Yeah, I think Kansas State's kind of on the out right now. You look at how competitive the Big 12 is this year, and with West Virginia, UCF, Arizona State, TCU's even starting to make some noise now again. It's in Kansas, of course, at the top, but it's hard to see Kansas State finding their way into the tournament at this point. Like they haven't gotten any wins against big teams that they needed to get wins against. And so I know you talked about not having a 500 record in conference, and I think they're under 500 at this point.
9-13 now.
Yeah.
That loss basically drops them to where they'd have to do something freaky the last 2 weeks, but that's tough.
Yeah, because like if you're thinking 5 teams from the Big 12 get in, you're looking at like Kansas, ASU, West Virginia, UCF, and then like one of Cincinnati, BYU, Oklahoma State, TCU, right? Like not all four of those teams.
I had 7 in my latest mock, but that was because I think that Cincinnati gets more wins and I think Oklahoma State gets in. I don't think BYU gets in. So I think you're looking at Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, TCU, UCF, West Virginia, Arizona State, and Kansas. I think that's your line of demarcation where it could be Oklahoma State or Cincinnati are on the bubble out or TCU on bubble out. One of those 3 teams may not get in. You might get 6, but I think 7's the max. I don't think you see an 8th team in unless BYU goes on some sort of winning streak. They lost yesterday, but they'd have to win today and go on some sort of winning streak. But again, their overall record's not good and their RPI is not good. So it'd be really hard for those teams to get in. Whereas Cincinnati and Oklahoma State have a good RPI.
Yeah.
They seem to be playing the right way. TCU has a decent RPI and a good name brand. I think that you're going to see 7 teams get in just because the bubble's soft this year, Jared.
Yeah. No, and I agree. And West Virginia, like, they're definitely in. And like, this team is very good.
Yeah.
Like, you talked about Maxiel bouncing back. They kind of needed him. He's been dominant for them almost all year. I think he hit like just that small rough patch. Outside of that, he's been just the ace that they've needed for this team, especially because you don't really know what you're getting from Dawson Montesa week in and week out. Weekends, it's like he'll go 7 innings, 11 Ks, 1 earned, and the next thing you know, he's given up 8 runs in like 3 innings. So to have that guy like Maxiel, I think is awesome. Like, the Chance Cole's been dominant for them as well. Yeah. Ian Korn's been great out of the bullpen for them. So I think that like just having Yell and Chanson gives them a really good shot to kind of go far in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it almost feels like where Texas made that switch to where Valenta switched over to Friday. Now you're going to see Yell on Friday nights now, and he's their Friday night ace going forward, and he gives them that opportunity to be that good. Do I think that they could play to a host team? I don't. I think unless they win their last 2 weekends, I mean, they still have Kansas upcoming, so that could kind of boost their resume a little bit. But I think that they're a good 2 seed, and they're going to be a really tough team on the road there in the 2 seed, whatever regional they get into. I think that they just had compiled too many losses in the middle of the season for me to boost them up there. Speaking of Kansas, man, actually, let's talk about Kentucky first. I have that one highlighted first. Tennessee at Kentucky. Welcome back, Ben Cleaver, man. I mean, he had to have this kind of start. He had to go out and give this team a chance. He goes out there and shuts down this Tennessee team, goes 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 runs, his best out of the season by far. And when the Cats needed him, man, it was huge. Ethan Hindle and Braxton Van Cleve, huge in the victory for the offense there. This was a must-win for Kentucky, and they went out and did it. I mean, Mingione keeps finding ways to win at home, especially like this. Like, hey, back against the wall, Cats got to win. They did it. Big win for them at a surging Tennessee team.
Yeah, I really think Kentucky needs to win like at least 2 of their last 3 series, right? They got Tennessee, Florida, and Arkansas, right? Tennessee, you could argue, is probably ranked by most people. Arkansas, Florida, both ranked. Like, they need at least 2 or 3 series wins. Now, they need to finish above 500, I think, in the SEC, like, or hit that eclipse of 13 wins in the SEC.
13 wins in SEC.
Yeah, they're at 10 now. So are they? Yeah. So I mean, they need 3 more.
So they got to find 3 games.
Yeah,
3 out of the next 8.
And their RPI is 31st. So it's like, I do think like I don't know. I think if they win a series against Tennessee, if they win a series against Florida or Arkansas, they're for sure into the field.
Yeah, I think you'd feel a lot better if you're a Cats fan if they go out and win a game the next 2 days here against Tennessee. Then you're feeling the pressure's kind of off you. You have to just win 1 of each in the next 2 series. Even if you lost those 2 series, you're probably in at 13 wins with their RPI where they're at. But if they happen to get swept in either one of those or don't win those series or they don't win the next 2 games or one of the next 2 games here, there's still some pressure on this Kentucky team as their schedule is not the easiest to end the season out. But a big win. I mean, that was a must win last night and they did it. And huge. I want to just shout out Ben Cleaver. Struggle all season, just been not himself. Goes out and looks the part. I mean, and now to get Jackson Jelkin going for the Kentucky, like, it's tough for Tennessee. It's not Tennessee is by no means like in either. Like, yes, there might be a top 25 team, but they're not all the way in this thing either. So they're fighting for their life as well as are Florida and Arkansas trying to figure out if they can host and be in that conversation. So none of these series are like easy series for them to end the season. So big win though for Kentucky last night. Kansas takes care of business because Arizona. Vintage Dominic Vagley. I'm telling you, he just needed me to come visit, and all of a sudden he's just flipped that switch to being what he was. Like 15 strikeouts, complete game, saves the entire bullpen for Dan Fitzgerald the rest of the weekend now, and they get Arizona, who's struggling. Big win for Kansas as they continue to stay red hot in conference. Bach hits that home run. Baldridge, huge 2-run RBI, and then Bollinger hits that huge sac fly in the 7th. It just really never felt like Arizona was in this, even with the 2 solo shots off of Vagley. Like, that was basically all the offense. Nothing else was even going.
Yeah, the Wildcats, man, still just such a disappointing season. I hate to say it every time I feel like we talk about them, but we'll stick on the positive and talk about Kansas here. Like 8 straight wins. They're absolutely dominating. I think they're 18-4 in conference play now. I get tired of people saying this is not a top 10 team because they're playing in the Big 12. This is a top 10 team. They're firing on all cylinders. The pitching staff has turned things around from like the early struggles. And you think about playing baseball in Kansas when it's cold and the pitching staff, it's warmer weather. They're probably kind of thriving off of that as well. Same thing with the bats. Like the bats were kind of cold at the beginning of the season. Started playing in that warmer weather, warmer climate, and now all of a sudden everybody's clicking. So like Kansas team's very, very good, and I think they're going to make a lot of noise this year in the playoffs.
100%. They deserve to host. I'm going to just keep saying it. There needs to be a host in Lawrence at Hoagland. Oh my gosh, that ballpark is fantastic. I think that they should be fringe national seed. I talked about it this week. I mean, last weekend we talked about it, and you put out that clip of me talking about how they're a top 10. Top 10, yeah, they're right on that cusp of being a national seed. Honestly, to me, if they continue to dominate like this, I think the big telling series will be West Virginia. And if they dominate West Virginia, all of a sudden you're like, they're a national seed, because that would just prove to you that they are heads and tails above everybody else in the Big 12 right now. But I love this team. The tale of good teams in baseball for me is, can you win in a variety of ways? They do. They can win it by hitting home runs and blowing teams out. They can win these close ball games with, a pitcher going complete game there for them. Don Vagley, unbelievable. But now they have all these bullpen arms ready to go the next 2 days. I don't see a way where Arizona takes the series. And I think Kansas at least gets one of the next two and puts themselves in a really good conversation for the last 2 weeks of the season. I love this Kansas team. Ole Miss at Arkansas. Wow. Arkansas, welcome back. Like, deciding that we're going to hit the baseball. I mean, yeah, they've done it all season with, it's like in parts where they hit the home runs. But, wow. TJ Pompey, huge home run in the second there. 3 RBIs, and Kozel hits a two-runner in the third. Aloy hits a home run, and then it's capped off by a Helfrich home run there in the fifth. Like, some mistakes by Ole Miss, but Arkansas took advantage every single time.
I switched my pick back to Arkansas last minute before game started yesterday, and now I was like, I'm going to switch this, and Ole Miss is going to dominate. Luckily, Arkansas dominated game 1, but that just means they're going to lose game 2 and 3. And so because I switched my pick to Arkansas, Ole Miss, you're welcome. You're going to win this series, because anything I pick just ends up losing. So, no, I mean, we talked about this all year. Like, Arkansas, time to time, looks like a top 10 team. Other times they look like they shouldn't even be a top 50 team. Again, they looked like a top 10 team last night. Like, when the bats are going, this team is pretty good. And so pitching staff never really been too much of a question mark. Hunter Dietz has been just an animal on the mound all year. Like, you need a Friday night ace, you got Hunter Dietz, and you're pretty good. Cole Gibler has been really good for them as well. Like, this is a very good Arkansas team. And I know Jason doesn't think the same because he's an Arkansas fan and he just wants to live in Missouri. But I do think like this Arkansas team's good. Like, I don't think I know they played to like a top 50 team sometimes, but I think they're better than a top 50 team. I think they're a top 25 team. It's just what team's going to show up each weekend.
The reason why I haven't had them in my top 25 last 2 weeks is because I don't know what team's going to show up. But if it's this team, this is almost this host team. Like, this is the kind of team that we kind of thought was going to be there at the start of the season when we ranked this Arkansas team. And Dietz is a Friday night ace. Like, that, there's no second guessing that now. What are they going to get the rest of the weekend pitching wise, though, I think is the biggest thing for Arkansas. Can they go out there and collect enough outs and be good enough over the last stretch of the season? I don't know, but a big win at home against Ole Miss, who I had hosting going into this weekend, and Ole Miss has still got some work to do if they want to host now. I mean, that's a tough loss. Bounce back, though. I'm excited for the rest of this series. I think it's huge. South Alabama at Texas State. Wow. I mean, Texas State kind of playing their way out of tournament contention now with this loss at home, 6-2. Huge win for South Alabama. South Alabama is fringe. Like, I think they're still going to have to do a lot more, and they're probably going to have to win, maybe get to the championship in the Sun Belt.
Yeah.
As RPI. But, man, I think that we only see 2 teams in the Sun Belt. But I think now if we're talking about a third team, you'd have to talk about South Alabama as the third team.
Yeah, I don't know if, like you said, I don't think the Sun Belt's getting in more than 2. Like last year, Troy was so good and they didn't get in, and so Troy's 12-9. They got a better record than South Alabama. App State's 13-8. They got a better record than South Alabama, and like Troy and App State are playing each other in a series right now, and so I don't know if Troy comes out on top of that. Are you like all of a sudden looking at Troy as a bubble team? Probably not, because they're 22 and 23 overall, right? They had not so great experience in the non-con schedule. They're still only 12-9 in conference. Like, I think App State has to win this series if they want to be the third team in. I think App State has the best chance to be the third team in. They're 26 and 17 overall. They're 13-8 in conference. They have the same conference record as Southern Miss, but they're going to have to really kind of win out in order to get that other shot. But I think it's going to be hard for any of these other teams in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, my problem for App State is that they're not even in the top 100 RPI. They're
Yeah.
107 in the RPI.
They got to win the
so,
conference.
I mean, they're going to have to. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we see a third team in just because of where we're at. I mean, RPI
They're
wise,
not going to because Coastal's going to win the regular season.
I mean, it's just what's going to happen. Unfortunately, I don't think the 3 teams get in. The third highest team right now in Sunbelt is Troy in the RPI, and they have a losing record. So I don't think that we see any of these teams get in.
And Coastal, you think they're going to lose 17 games, and then they just come back and win all of them.
Yeah, every 2-run game, it feels like they stay in there and win somehow.
They should technically probably be like under 500 in conference if they ended games in the 7th inning, but then Coastal just wins those games in the 8th and 9th, and it's crazy. Good for them.
They win every game in the 8th and 9th inning. Good. Hey, good teams find ways to win. They keep doing it. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You win ball games, man, you're going to be ranked. That's against good teams. That's what's going to happen.
Beat who's in front of you. That's all you can do, right? Take care of it. It's crazy. I love it. TCU at Oklahoma State. Wow, Oklahoma State. Colin Ritchie ties it up in the 7th and then walks it off in the 9th. Both solo shots. Unbelievable. Now 25 bombs on the season. Hudson Barrett, our preseason pick of the year, he's finally back healthy. He comes in as the bullpen, comes out and strikes out 4 of the 5 guys he faces. Huge win for Oklahoma State. Kind of puts them bubble in my opinion. That's why I had them in this week. TCU, tale of just not being able to get out of their own way and finish this thing out. Like Colin Ritchie, I get it, man, but I don't know if I'd even have pitched to him there in that situation.
Yeah, 25 bombs in the season.
Yeah, he ties it up in the 7th, and you're going to face him again in the 9th when he has a chance to walk it off in their own ballpark. Like, I don't know, man. It just feels silly to me, but big win for Oklahoma State and Colin Ritchie. Like, more props to that guy. He's been carrying the load for this Oklahoma State team that is quietly playing their way into a pretty tough 3 seed.
Yeah, this Oklahoma State team's very the offense kind of reminds you a little bit of Arkansas. I think they got more power, but it's like a lot of swing and miss. Like you look at it, they're hitting 277 as a team, but they have 104 home runs as a team. That's insane. 104 home runs in 46 games as a team. So like that's pretty good. I just think that I feel like Oklahoma State's like one of those good teams that we just don't talk about enough. I think they get overlooked just because like how good the Big 12 is this year. But they've been playing really good ball on the offensive side of the ball. Pitching staff's always been kind of the question mark for Oklahoma State. Every year it seems like that's the case. Like Josh Holiday does a great job with bats. Like bats always seem to thrive at Oklahoma State. They got a 6.30 ERA as a team. And now their starting staff is really throwing well. The bullpen's been good. Like Ethan Lund is leading in strikeouts. He's got 100 strikeouts, but he's also got a 5.8 ERA on the season. So I just think like this Oklahoma State team is just really hot or cold. And that's part of the reason maybe they're not getting the attention they deserve. But I still think this is a very good ball club.
35th in the RPI. They're above teams like Jacksonville State, Tennessee, TCU, Arizona State. Like they're playing good baseball. They're just not getting credit, I think, because the whole Big 12 stigma this year is like, it's not a good conference. It's not a good conference. It is a good conference. It's just so equal that it's made it really, really tough on teams. So like they're very equal. They're playing good ball. I am big on this Oklahoma State team. I've said it like 3 weeks ago. I said, hey, watch for this team to turn it around. When they took that first game against Kansas, I was like, okay, this is them. They lost the series. But I think that this Oklahoma State team has the whole season in front of them. Now 12-10 in conference. They have it right there. I think that they could go take care of business. If they win another one against TCU, you can go ahead and pencil them in to the tournament here. I'm very high on this Oklahoma State team. I think the offense is just good. And the arms are finally getting healthy. I think that's the biggest thing too. Getting like a guy like a Hudson Barrett back and being able to pitch out is huge for them. CSUN takes the game at Oregon State in extra innings. Crushing loss for the Beavers now as they find their way all the way down to 18th in the RPI. We also got the news Dax Whitney is done for the season. He's going to be having either brace surgery or full Tommy John. That has not been disclosed, but he also disclosed that last night that he will be having surgery. Most likely the last pitch he's ever thrown for Oregon State, which is unfortunate. Tremendous talent. We wish him to get healthy, but this is a big blow for Oregon State. And like Ethan Kleinschmidt was good for them, and then the bullpen kind of gave up runs and kind of blew this one. It's a tough loss at home, and they don't really play a team that's in the top 200 the rest of the season, Jared.
Yeah, and I think like we've talked about when you lose a pitcher like Cam Fluke did with Coastal Carolina and now Dax Whitney with Oregon State, it's like the concern isn't the guy bumping up to Friday, right? Like everybody knows Ethan Kleinschmidt's going to dominate, but it's like who's throwing Saturday and Sunday? Like that's the question that you kind of your Sunday guy is all of a sudden becoming your Saturday guy, and
a
lot of
moves
cases,
up to Saturday, and it's like now who's going Sunday?
Yeah, a lot of teams like don't have a Segura either too, so it's like that you're just kind of wondering like, you're like, can your Sunday guy dominate and compete with those Saturday guys? And like, who's going to throw for you on Sunday? Like, that's kind of the question. Like your midweek guy that's throwing Tuesday, Wednesday, but a lot of times Tuesday, Wednesday games are just a bunch of guys throwing 2 innings a piece. So I think it's going to be tough for Oregon State. We've talked about some of the struggles on offense for them. Like they really lean on their pitching staff, and not having the potential number 1 overall pick in the 2027 MLB draft is a huge blow.
Yeah, I think that it just puts them now like at that conversation where people are like, hey, they're in. I said at the beginning of the year, I thought that they had to win 48 games and you know, they might still get there. I don't think that they host now. Honestly, their RPI drops all the way 18 now, and it's not going to get boosted. Their RPI is not going to go up for the rest of the season. They don't play anybody that's going to help them in the RPI. If they happen to drop another game at any point in the season, there's no chance that they host. I think that bumps them all the way out, unfortunately, just because of their schedule. Now, I do think that they have one of the best pitching staff still, even without Dax. They still have tremendous pitching. They have tremendous arms. We know what they could do. But the offense gives me worries, and they're just not consistent enough right now, especially the fact is that they're playing a lot of these games at home, which are also not going to help the RPI when you're playing teams like you know, in the 200s. That's not going to help your RPI, even if you win them at home. So tough loss there for Oregon State. But again, I think that is just kind of proving to what their season kind of was washing out to be. UCLA goes on the road, though, wins at Michigan State. Mulavai-Lavu, huge bomb late, gives UCLA the lead, and they hold on to this one. Big road victory. Did you know they have yet to lose to a P4 school? All their losses against mid-majors. So people are like, oh, they lost to Sac State. They're not that good. No, they beat every P4 school that's in front of them. This UCLA team's still number 1 in the country. Yes, they're not doing it flashy, but they win baseball games. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. They lose a mid-major. It's mostly on a weekday. Like they lost one Sunday game, I think. To what was that? Who was it? Was it Sac? No, not Sac State.
Sac State.
Was it? Yeah, they lost one Sunday game. Like I don't know. And Sac State's the ones that keeps coming after everybody. They took that series from LSU, and
they sat Logan Redeman to prep for the postseason. Like they just have been sitting guys to get them healthy and getting ready for like they know what they are. There's no worries there, Jared.
41-4, 22-0 in the Big Ten. UCLA is good. Like, what else are we gonna? We've talked about them ad nauseum at this point. Like, there's nothing really else to add on.
It's so funny because the top 25 show, we like almost can't talk about them because they're number 1 every week. There's nothing really to add. We know what they are. They're very good at baseball. They're going to continue to punish baseballs. They're going to beat teams. They're going to host at Jackie Robinson Stadium. Like, what else do you want us to talk about? This team's going to, I mean, the series against Oregon next week is the one. Like, that's the one we're going to talk about to see what happens. And it's bigger for Oregon than it is for UCLA. Even if UCLA lost that series, they're still number 1 in the country.
Yeah. And they were an Omaha team last year, and they have the same team basically, and they're better. So,
and they have the number 1 pick in the draft who plays shortstop.
Logan Redeman's become a first rounder. He's a first round talent now. Like everybody keeps talking about that on the draft boards. I think in Tyler's draft board, he's skyrocketed up. He's skyrocketed up Joe Doyle's draft board. Like he is a first rounder. And you have a first rounder in an arm. You have the number 1 overall pick at shortstop. You got Mulavai-Lavu, Will Gasparino. Like all these guys are draft dudes. Roman Martin, draft guy. Like this whole entire team is full of draft guys.
Yeah. And lots of experience, lots of ability. Like there's nothing that's really standing in their way. It's not like this team's going to get to the postseason and crumble. We saw them do big things last year when they weren't necessarily an Omaha team last year to start. So I'm big on this UCLA team. I'm really tired of people giving them so much hard time. Like, yes, it's not pretty, but they're going out and beating every team that's in front of them. They haven't lost a single Power 4 game. So whatever you want to do with that, guys, take it. But yes, this UCLA team is very good. Oregon on the road at Washington. And I said, hey, watch out for this series. Washington's really tough at home. They've gotten better throughout the season. Jackson Hotchkiss has been tremendous for them in the outfield. Case and Taggart, like they have some guys that have been healthy now. They've been going. Oregon takes the lead late in this one with 2 big home runs in the 8th inning. Berkeley Mabius, huge 3-run shot, and then followed by he hits one. Laiku hits that ball into the lake, into Mont Lake. Like he hit that ball so hard. This Oregon team, if they get better offensively production, I think that they're a host team. This is a big road win for them, Jared.
Yeah. I mean, Oregon, a top 15 team right now. I think there's no argument about it. They've played like it all year long. And they played it I don't know. I really like the pitching staff was my biggest concern, and like Cal Scolari, Will Sanford, all these guys have stepped up and have absolutely started to dominate for them. And the bats, like you said, they mash. Like they're getting a ton out of Dominic Hellman. They're getting a ton out of Ryan Cooney, and then they're doing this all without Maddox Maloney playing up to his full potential. So
Yeah.
Drew Smith has been absolutely incredible for
Drew
this team.
Smith,
Like
Golden
he's taken
Spikes
huge
finalist.
leaps in his game. And like you just mentioned, Angel Lai has been incredible as a freshman. Berkeley Mabius is awesome behind the dish. Like, have to love this Oregon team.
Yeah, and they just have more and more talent. Like, it just feels like they can plug and play more guys. Gabe Miranda finally feels like he's getting going also a little bit for them. Like, they've been switching him in at first base. He had a sub 200 average. He's getting going now. Seems like there's a lot of weapons for this team, and they're not even firing at 100%. Like, and they get to go down to UCLA next weekend. If they end up sweeping this weekend at Washington, and then they take one game at UCLA, I think that you have to put them in that conversation for hosting. And they're going to continue to climb in the RPIs. We already see them up at 25 now. I think that this Oregon team is right there on the cusp of hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga finally loses a game in WCC, losing its streak. They lost that game last night late. They gave up runs there to Santa Barbara. Santa Clara. Huge win there for Santa Clara. Not really any news necessarily for Gonzaga, but I just wanted to say, they finally did lose their winning streak in the WCC. Lots of games postponed to today. Lots and lots of weather across the country. We have the ACC dead week where a lot of teams don't play this weekend. But it's going to be a lot of baseball today. So many doubleheaders. South Carolina at LSU might be one of the biggest ones, Jared. This might be very important for both of these teams. Like, what direction are they going? Are we going to see Monty Lee show that he deserves to be the job? I say give him the job. I keep saying give him the job. They should have given him to him last time. And then what can LSU do? Can they get up off the mat and fight back a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a huge series. I mean, you don't really say that when you have two bottom of the barrel kind of SEC teams, but I think both of them have a lot on the line. Like, I don't think LSU is going to be a postseason team. South Carolina is obviously not going to be a postseason team, but I think there's a lot of pride that they're going to be playing for in this series. Like, Jay wants to win. He never wants to lose, even if he doesn't think postseason's happening. He's still going to try to win baseball games.
Yeah, and this is it though. Like, if you're an LSU fan, this is it. You have to win this weekend. You have to sweep this weekend. Like, you have to take care of business to even give yourself a chance. I don't think they get in, but again, this is where you want to see that fight. You want to see that from this Jay Johnson team. And if you're South Carolina, if you go take one at the box, you're feeling really good about your season, honestly, from where you turned it around to all the injuries and being able to go compete. And I really love what Monty Lee's done. He's really got these guys believing that they can compete with anybody in the SEC, and they've shown it. They've gone out there and they've beaten some teams. Like, I'm very excited for this one here. Pitt at Florida State. Now, the rain here kind of moved this one to a weird one also, so now we get that doubleheader today. Do you think that I think that this favors Pitt to go doubleheader? Like, we already know that the arms are going to be the biggest thing here, and now you're getting a doubleheader, so you're getting those bullpen arms are going to have to go more for Florida State. Propose Pitt can hit, and at that ballpark they're going to hit. I mean, I think Florida State still wins this series at home, but I think that Pitt's okay with that rain out getting into this.
Yeah, again, like we've talked about it because now all of a sudden you're gonna kind of throw two guys on one day. Like, Wes Mendez is gonna get pushed back, and then you have Wes Mendez and Trey Beard probably going today. Yeah, I mean, I'm so interested about this Pitt team because they're 28-15 overall. They're 10-11 in the ACC. This series is in Florida State, right? So but they're still 10-6 on the road. Like, they've been playing good on the road. Yeah, I'm interested to see kind of what they can do here against Florida State. And like, you could argue that they could potentially be a top 25 team if they get a series win here. Like, they absolutely dominated Virginia for 3 straight games. Like, if they can, even though that was at Pitt, like, I think if they can do this again against Florida State, like take 2 out of 3 here, like, you have to start talking about potential top 25.
And they took a game from Georgia Tech where they blew them out of the water. Like, they hammered the baseball. And if it wasn't for Georgia Tech's offense, they might have taken 2 of that series. So they
just got bad series losses. Like, they got swept by Cal. They lost the series to Virginia Tech. Like, I just don't know. Like, I think even with the series win against Florida State, it might still, I keep saying that, maybe they'll be potentially a top 25 team, but they still might not be.
Yeah, it's still really tough in front of them, and they have a tough schedule, and there's 44th in the RPI. Listen, if they had taken care of those series against Cal, even if they had won a game against Cal and they had taken the series against Virginia Tech, we'd be talking about this team completely different. They'd be talking about a 15-win ACC team. Now they're on the bubble out where they have to go out and win these games. I mean, this is big for them. Very, very exciting. There's a ton of great games coming up today, though. Jared, what are you most excited to watch today?
Yeah, I think this is tough. I would say the NC State Miami series, just because, like we've talked about, we don't even know what either of these teams are. I want to see who comes out on top of this, just because I don't think if NC State wins this series, they're a top 25 team, but I think if Miami does, they are. And I would love to see Miami kind of come out on top and really showcase that, like, hey, they deserve to belong here, and they're actually going to kind of continue to carry this the rest of the season.
Yeah. As much as I want to say that it's the Auburn A&M series, where I think that's going to be tremendous baseball today. The doubleheader is like tough to me. So I'm going to say that I want to see that Pitt Florida State, because I think it means a lot for those teams. I mean, that and Boston College today. If Boston College today can win, then I'll be screaming from the mountaintops that they need to be a host. I mean, I don't care if they went 0-4 the rest of the season. If they win today, they should be hosting. I'm really high on this Pitt team, or this team. Who didn't look great this weekend that you were like, oh man, that was not the right time?
Yeah, I'm going through the box. This one's actually easy. UCF. This is a team where I'm like, they're gonna probably make the tournament. Like, they've been really up and down. Like, they won 5 straight right before this ASU series, and so I'm like, they started to turn things around, and then ASU kind of just manhandled them in that first game. And like, they still can win the series, but I'm like, I need to see more out of UCF, because they really struggled against Kansas after they got that West
Cincinnati
win. Then they struggled against Cincinnati, and so I'm like, I need to see more out of this team.
Yeah, last weekend was a good win for them where they had to against Utah, but I think that they got to take care of they got to get at least one here to make me feel a little bit better. If Arizona State sweeps, it kind of cools me off of this UCF team, where I think that they're still a tournament team, but they'd be that bubble 3 seed now instead of a solid 2 seed where they were a couple of weeks ago. I am going to say it again. Vanderbilt, they do not have a good schedule coming ahead of them. Their RPI is not going to be going up. It went up with the 2 losses, Jared. It went up 1 slot with the 2 losses at Alabama because it's losses on the road. Now, if they don't win today and all of a sudden they get swept by Alabama, and they might go 16-14 because they have South Carolina and Missouri left, but those are not going to boost their RPI at all. Those are not going to boost their RPI one bit, and they're going to be in the 60s. And then the committee is going to have to decide if SEC wins really do matter or if it is RPI based. Because RPI based, they're not going to be in the bottom 60. So then, are you going to take a Vanderbilt team that wins 16 or 15 SEC games and sits in the top 60 in the RPI? Which, even if they lost one of those games, all of a sudden they're probably 65-70.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I think that they're bubble out right now unless they get a win today. I think that they need a win at Alabama. A win at Alabama almost solidifies them as in, unfortunately. Like, when you look at it overall, that would definitely put them, because they'd probably jump into 59th in the RPI with a road win at Alabama, with where Alabama's ranked, because it's a Q1 win. But they don't have any other Q1 games the rest of the season other than this. So for me, it's Vanderbilt not looking good so far this weekend. What's the team that has looked good though for you, Jared?
I'm going to go the opposite of that and say Alabama. Right?
Big wins.
They needed this series win, but that puts them at 12 wins. They're 1 away from that magic of 13. They're 31-16 overall, 12-11 in the SEC. They've been up and down. Like, Rob Vaughn would probably tell you they've been up and down all SEC play long, but they needed this series and they went out and got it. And I think we talk about Vaughn being a motivator. He was probably like telling his guys, like, this is the series you need. Like, you get this series win, you're basically punching your ticket to the playoffs. So really excited to see kind of what they did there. The pitching staff looked great. The bats showed up. This has been a fun team to watch all year long, even though they have their ups and downs.
Yeah, they're now 5th in the RPI. And that's massive for them. I mean, sitting there at 12-11, even if they lose today, it doesn't kill them. But if they win today, all of a sudden they're 13-11, which they'd already get their magic number of SEC wins. They'd be high enough in the RPI where you're now talking about a team that might be in contention for a host / national host. Like, that's how far this team could climb if they win today. Like, that's the kind of volume we're looking at for this Alabama team. I'm going to go with another SEC team that I've been probably unreasonably hard on lately, which is Oklahoma. Big win for them to go take care of business late in that game and to get that win against Florida. We know that they're right there, 15-16 in the RPI with Florida. Like, it's back and forth, them, Ole Miss. So they're fighting for one of those slots to be in that conversation of hosting. Like, they're 12-10 in conference, so they're better than Florida and Ole Miss right now as far as their conference record. And they just beat Florida in a head-to-head one game. If they could take the series, I think Oklahoma can play their way back into hosting, which is a crazy thought. What we had 3 weeks ago, where we're like, hey, this Oklahoma team, we don't know what they are. They don't beat anybody that's better than them. They beat everybody that's worse than them. Well, they just beat Florida. Who is better than them? I mean, I think that Florida's better than them. I think Florida has more talent. So huge win there for Oklahoma. Very excited. Final thoughts here, Jared, as we close this thing up.
Yeah, we're on the last couple of week grind here, right? Conference tournaments start in 3 weeks, so
Yeah.
everybody's kind of playing for those final spots and for after conference tourney play for that selection show Monday, and so yeah, it's getting to an exciting time.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. We got 7 shows left here before we hit into conference tournaments. We're gonna have that top 25 show right before conference tournament plays. Join us live when we do the Monday show, the Selection Monday show. We'll be doing that for that whole morning, going live with you guys, breaking down all those picks. Very, very excited for the next few weeks. For Jared and myself, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys on the Monday night show.